This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast is a Friday.
Woo-woo!
April the 8th today. Not just any Friday. Kick off to the Quinte Home Builders Association Home and Lifestyle Show 2022.
It's back.
It's a big deal every year. It's a big deal when it hasn't been here for 3 years because of early pandemic. This is the first one since 2019. Yes! I'm a big fan. I like it.
I can tell. And I've had people actually comment on that this week because we've talked about it all week on air. I've had several people come up and say, Mark's really excited, eh?
This is great.
Well, he gets out of the studio. It's like he's off the leash. He gets to go and roam and visit and talk to people.
And you can yell to people like I'm a dog. No, he's friendly. He's friendly.
He's got his shots.
He's friendly.
But no, I'm excited for it too. As I said to you just before we started, this is only my second one. You clearly have a way more knowledge about this, of course. But your enthusiasm for it has caught on as well. Because I'm excited for it too.
The gang there in their booths, the Quinte Home Builders, are a great group. They do a ton of great stuff for the economy around here. I mean, take a look at what housing has been doing and growing in this area. Mm-hmm. Ask anybody how long it takes to build a house. I don't think you can do one this year or next year. It's like in the future. It takes a long time. They've been working hard. They are the backbone of a lot of the community initiatives and charity work in the area. There's always one or two of them that are lead sponsors. Yeah. And then they've got this where you're all in one place. You can drive all over with gas prices, or you can just come to the home show. And then they got home show specials, and then that's how you get on the list. Have somebody come out and get an estimate. If you don't go to the home show and you phone up next week, it may not be till May or June. And you think, well, that's weird. Well, because they spent this weekend, people stopping by the booths. So you got to go. And what does it cost you? $10. It's cheaper than the gas would take to drive.
That's for the weekend.
The whole weekend.
Yeah.
So you go in today, you see something, you take a picture on your phone, you go back, you do some measuring, you come back, and you talk to them about it, and you find out, oh, there's a home show special. So the price you saw on their website, it's actually, 10 or 15% cheaper because you bought it. There's just so many great reasons why you should go do this.
Well, and this is the best time, too. Not only are we coming out of a pandemic, but for me, even though I didn't attend, this show was so big in this area. It was kind of the kickoff to spring. Mm-hmm. And with it being spring, this is when the snow's melted. So we're looking around the yard, we're looking around the home, improvements, maybe renovating, building, whatever you want to do with your home. As you said, they're all under one roof. So whether it's just fixing up your house, but your backyard, maybe I've noticed, I know last time this jumped out for me, but hot tubs, accessories to your home, because it's a lifestyle show too. So if you've been putting that off or wanting to make other improvements, not only to your house, but to your property, this is a great opportunity to come and do that.
And I think that's probably the best point because for 3 years we've been watching home reno shows on TV. And without a home show, I mean, clearly we'd go shop and we would buy that stuff. But when it's all under one roof, it used to just be, well, how do I fix my house? Now with the way people are flipping houses, it isn't just how do I fix it? How do I make it look better and improve its curb appeal, improve its saleability? If I put $10,000 into my home, will I get $50,000 out if I flip it in a year? Or I'm thinking of selling my home because I heard what a neighbor got for theirs, and it's crazy. Where my wife, for example, is the executor for her mother's estate, which at one time owned a condo. So she had to go down and she was told, X amount of money that you would get for it. Well, my wife is a pretty caring person. She said, you know what though, but I think we should paint it. There's a couple other things. So I think by the time it was done, she spent $4,000 or $5,000, maybe $6,000 on this. And it was listed at what they thought it would go for because of the way prices are now. List it, you'll get it right away. She got $60,000 over offer. Because it looked spectacular. So
a little extra elbow grease could add so much to it.
You go talk to somebody there and you say, hey, if I were to, sell my house and if I had $10,000 to improve it, where should I? Oh, let's do this, this, and this. And then you'll get,
biggest bang for your buck.
Asking that question makes you tens of thousands of dollars. Why wouldn't you go for $10.
Well, and I imagine that's one of the questions people will be asking this afternoon, because one of the presenters, they're kicking it off right off the hop with real estate. What the heck is happening with real estate?
Yeah.
That's the presentation this afternoon from Kevin Wells and Zach Flenders. They're going to be on stage talking about that beginning at 3 p.m. this afternoon, and dive right into this housing boom that we have seen through the pandemic, and who, as you pointed out this morning, before you thought, well, I'll do a few touch-ups, we'll go to the show, we'll see what's new, we'll see what the trends are, maybe we'll do some improvements. But through the pandemic, I think we've all seen that, yes, a little bit of work, because this house, nobody could have foreseen this.
No way.
How real estate
Yep.
in 2 years would just explode. So yeah, those little things that maybe you've been putting off, you might want to do now, especially if you're looking to move yourself and see what you can get for your property.
I know it's on paper and it's fake money, but I never thought I would live in a home that's valued at the value of my home, because it's not valued at that.
It's incredible.
It's valued at that, but when we bought it, that's not what I said. Nowhere. I mean, if I thought I could have gotten a few thousand more, because when we left Stratford, we lived in Stratford for 10 years, and we lived in 2 different houses. And the last house we sold for the exact same amount we paid for 4 or 5 years earlier. We literally, it was the same. So whatever we dropped the mortgage in, that's what it costs to live there. But now, oh my gosh.
Well, they always say real estate's the best investment you can make. And right now, it's really paying off. So make it, and for those, even if you're not planning on moving or leaving, but just making it, because we spent so much time at home these last couple of years. Yeah. You might as well love it. You have to love it. So what's going to get you there? So a great show. It kicks off today at noon. You and I are going to be there this afternoon. Yep. We're looking forward to it. And the presentations and just the fun that's to be had will continue right through until Sunday.
10 o'clock Saturday, 10 o'clock Sunday. It opens all at the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center. If you're listening outside Belleville, that is Highway 37 south, about half a kilometer. And it's where the Belleville Senators play at the CAA Arena, and the entire complex is called the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center. If you're checking it on Google, it's free parking. It's $8 to get in for the day, but again, just spend the $10. Come all weekend. All weekend for that. So that's going on today. What else? Major League Baseball kicked off last night. Jays opened up their season tonight at Rogers Center. If you're headed down to that, you're going to win a hat night for the first, I'm not sure how many. The first one out of the bag is going to go to my daughter. I think she's lining up now. She can't wait, lives in Toronto. So for her, to having lived in Toronto, she came home for the pandemic. Her double down, her is try and keep me at home, is I'm going to make up for the 2 years I couldn't live in Toronto.
A lot of people are.
So she's been out and about. Now, she works for the Score, so she's everything sports related anyway. She met James Harden this week.
Oh my gosh.
Of the Philadelphia 76ers.
And then she's going to the Jays game tonight.
Yeah, home opener. She's going to the Leafs game next week.
Oh my gosh.
She's just living this life. She can't get enough of it.
But but don't we all want to do that? Yeah. And especially now that the Jays have returned home for an entire season, the hype over this season is just, everybody's just happy that they're back. They just want to go to a ball game here in Toronto. And I know she said the same thing. I just want to go. Yep. Just want to be there.
Just seems, again, normal. Yeah. We took it for granted. Like, we loved it when baseball started because we met it with spring.
Yes.
That's great. And then I love talking about the Boston Marathon, because that always took place in April. And the Masters, of course, this weekend.
Yes, this week.
There is nothing like April sports to me. NHL's winding down. The playoffs are going to begin shortly. April, for sports fan, is an enormous one. And for the last 2-3, I guess 2020 was awful. Yeah, they just sucked. It was just terrible. It was awful. But that's not the worst part of the pandemic, of course. It was tragic. But to be able to say, here's like a real April in sports again. It's like, boy.
It's pretty exciting.
Not having Christmas for about 3 years. So that's pretty great. So if you head down to the game, enjoy that against Texas. And Tigers walking around. Did he get enough press yesterday?
Oh my God. Do you have to hit that button? I know we're going to talk about angry things in a minute. It just annoyed me. I don't know if it's angry.
Poke the bear.
It is. Yeah, you're totally poking the bear.
No, but your point is, my gosh, he's just walking, doing nothing. Does the camera always have to be him?
No. It's not that he's not doing nothing. It's amazing that he's walking this course. Yeah. That is not lost on me. And I appreciate it's Tiger. And of course, everybody he's 45 years old. He's won 5. He overcame an incredible obstacle. And that's putting it mildly. I know that. The last 18 months, came back from a car accident where he almost lost his leg. And that's just one of many health issues he's overcome in years. So I appreciate his struggles and his journey to the Masters. I get it. And of course, everybody's going to be watching to see what Tiger does. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying at the end of the day, when he's golfed his 18 holes, when he's left the course, and there's still half of the golfers out there golfing, do we need to continue to watch Tiger from the beginning through his career, overcoming? It just got to be a little much. By 6 o'clock last night, I wanted to see somebody else.
Right? Especially because you're a big Rory fan. Like, Rory's on the golf course. I saw him once.
And again, get it, not a great day for Rory.
But come on.
Compared to the others.
Come on, he's
but
on
I wanted
the course.
to see Rory. I wanted to see Koepka. I wanted to see, even though he bugs me, I don't want to
Bryson
say.
DeChambeau.
Yeah, I wanted to see Bubba Watson. I wanted
Jordan
to see
Spieth, Justin Thomas, John Rahm. Where are they?
Yeah, I wanted to see.
They're on the golf course, but we're not going to show you because we're going to show you this canned footage we have of Tiger.
Throughout the day and through his career and forever. I get it. I do. And I appreciate it and I understand it. But yeah, a
little much, eh?
It's a
great point.
tad.
Great point.
A tad.
No, it's a great point.
It's wonderful that he's there. It is.
Yep. And they play.
But it's wonderful the other ones are there too.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see some of that.
And we'll see, because this podcast will live forever because it's recorded when we say, we'll see what he does today, because the hardest day will be day 2 after the walking.
Exactly.
And if he makes
did
the cut,
great
day
yesterday.
3, day 4.
But
That's what that's what they're worried about.
One of the funnier moments, and I didn't realize just what I'd seen some of this footage, but the whole, was it the 9th hole?
9th hole, yep.
The shot of the day, as you were calling it, with his golfing partner.
Yeah, Neiman hit it in the hole for eagle. Yep.
Where that's where he dropped the F-bomb.
Right, 2 minutes earlier.
On TV, and he'd had a crappy shot, and then Neiman steps up and boop.
And it's in the hole.
Right in, and I thought, wow, see those moments too. We can't forget those moments are going on too. Yes, Tiger's there, and that's wonderful, but that was a really great shot.
Yeah.
And to have it with Tiger,
Tiger, they didn't miss a single shot of Tiger yesterday. Every time he addressed the ball, the camera was on him.
No, they didn't.
So we saw all 71 of his swings and putts. And then, as you said, but it was funny when he finished the 18th and he was walking up to the scorer's table, the camera just stayed on him. That's what I mean. Okay, he's walking.
You'd think he'd won it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it's the first day, guys. Yeah. I get it. He's still walking. Okay, that's wonderful. But to follow him up.
Yeah. Leave something for Friday.
Exactly.
Leave them wanting more. That's sort of an entertainment maxim. Leave them wanting more.
It was just getting a little almost ridiculous.
Day 2 is going on today, though. But you alluded to the anger study we talked about this morning, which is kind of funny. It says that on average, an adult is wearing the grumpy pants for about an hour and 19 minutes every day. Which
seems like a lot to be angry every day.
Mm-hmm. I know some people it's 24 hours. Like, we all know people who are just crappy people.
Might be a little bit more.
Right? Like, they're Eeyore. They just have to have something to complain about. And I often think to myself, thank God I don't have that life, because I would hate to be that miserable all the time.
That's what I mean. An hour a day to be angry seems like such a waste.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad that if you're spending an hour a day angry, I feel bad for you, because that's sucking that hour from your day.
And I hope you want to get rid of it, that you're not like one of these people that, would always look on the negative side. But they had the top 3 things that can trigger that kind of a reaction. Number 1 is bad customer service. Mm-hmm. So you just wanted to stop and get a coffee, and they made your coffee wrong.
Yes, and that is very frustrating.
Yeah.
Or they're ignoring you or not giving you the service that you would like.
And that's going to knock you off for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Automated phone systems. Okay. Yes. Now you
Drive
can't
me
get
crazy.
Yeah. You just. Yep. And then commuting.
Yes. I have developed quite the road rage. I have very little patience on the road.
Yeah. I mean, you don't take it out on anybody. You internalize it, or you yell.
I yell in my car.
Right.
Not at anyone, no. I'm not laying on my horn or getting out of my vehicle. Okay. But yes, it is. And I had that moment, and that one really jumped out at me, because yes, I had that moment just a few days ago. I was at a stoplight and someone was in the wrong lane. So I was in a right turning lane with a right turning signal. Okay. But someone going straight was in front of me.
Right.
So I could not go when my signal went. I had to wait for this person. And it set me off.
Yeah.
I was cursing and swearing, and I got angry, but what surprised me more was how long I hung on to it. So yes, this study, and I don't know if it's I don't know if it's residual from the pandemic, possibly, because I think we all have shorter fuses. Mm-hmm. If that's why I'm hanging on to it more, because I do think people just seem angrier than they did.
Yep.
But it did surprise me at how long it bothered me that I had to sit an extra minute.
If that.
Yeah,
right.
At a stoplight. It felt longer. At a stoplight because someone made the wrong choice. And I kept saying, you know what, it's probably just, and not to generalize, but maybe someone older who missed the arrow, who just doesn't know the town, who doesn't know that they're...
Sure.
I'm making excuses.
Right.
In my head,
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring my anger level down. It didn't work because it just made me angrier, fighting with myself.
Yeah.
But then how I carried it wasn't a full hour, but it stayed with me longer than it should have.
I think
yes,
the two
definitely.
things there too is that we hang on to it longer, and things that normally wouldn't trigger us now do.
Yes.
Things that do.
It's the shorter fuse.
Like, why is this bothering me? It never used to bother me before. Some of the other things are work problems.
Mm-hmm.
That goes without saying. Money worries. And having to deal with family issues. The other 4, 5, and 6. So if you have a bad commute, you had a bad customer service, and then you get home and you find out that there's a hole in the roof and you haven't got the money to pay for it. That's just a whole. Of course, it's a horrible day. But that's
you probably would be angrier than an hour that day.
That day.
But if on average, if it's happening that often, that's too bad.
So come on out to the home show. We'll make you feel better.
This
come on out.
Yes.
Home and Lifestyle Show kicks off at noon today at the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center. Saturday kicks off at 10. Sunday kicks off at 10. I think it runs till 6 o'clock Saturday and 4 o'clock on Sunday. They'll give you the hours there. Give them $10. Come all weekend. We'd love to see you. It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast here on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get them. We're putting them everywhere.
Yes.
So have yourself a great weekend, okay? We'll be back in on Monday with Beat the Bank. Jimmy Hollywood will have box office numbers and lots more here on 95.5 Hits FM. We'll talk to you then.